Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I'm Kim. This will be a short, slow flow vinyasa practice to open up our side bodies and to get our breath pumping, our prana flowing through our body, and hopefully to move any blockages or any blocked energy. So bring yourself to your mat and let's begin in child's pose. You can either bring the knees together or take the knees wide, big toes coming together behind you, and settle your bum back towards the heels. Release your forehead down to the mat, resting your third eye space on the mat. And take a few nice deep breaths here, allowing yourself to arrive, to let go of where you're coming from, where you're going next, to be present here with yourself, your practice. As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself. Never force anything, just allow. See what your body has to offer. Allow your body to open in its own time. Nice, deep, smooth breaths, filling up the whole torso. Filling up the belly, front to back, side to side, filling up the rib cage, front to back, side to side. Top of the lungs, the bottom of the lungs, the back of the lungs. And then begin to walk yourself over towards the right side, bringing your torso over that right knee thigh, walking the left fingers over towards the right side. And feeling this opening through the left side of the body, up into the armpit, all the way down to that left hip. And then walk yourself back through center and then over towards the other side, bringing the torso over that left knee thigh. Right fingers walk over towards the left side. Maybe even come up onto your right finger pads. And then walk yourself back to center. And come down onto your belly. And then over onto your right side. Bend your knees. You can bring the knees out in front of you and stack the knees. Press the left hand down into the mat. Reach that right hand up the mat just a little bit. Spread your fingers. Root down into the right fingers and just allow the right side of the rib cage to get heavy, to sink down towards the mat. Finding some space through the right side. You can let that right shoulder shrug up towards the ear and take a few deep breaths here. And then come back down onto the belly and then roll yourself over to the other side. Same thing. You can come onto the left side, bend the knees, and bring the knees out in front of you and stack the legs. Right hand to the mat in front of you, and then come up onto the left hand. Allow that left side of the rib cage to drop down, melt down towards your mat. The left shoulder can hunch up towards the ear. And then bring yourself back to center. We'll take it into a table pose. Tuck your toes under. Press into the fingers and glide the hips up and back, coming into downward dog with the knees bent. Begin to pedal your legs out. Find any movement you like here. And then bend your knees, turn toes to the left, heels to the right. Press down into the right hand, right foot. Roll up onto the ball of that left foot and reach that left arm up over the ear. Maybe you begin to reach that left knee up towards the ceiling, and maybe that left arm up towards the ceiling. And then release that left foot down. Left hand comes down, you roll yourself back through center over to the other side. Toes over towards the right, heels over towards the left. Press down into that left hand, left foot. Roll up onto the ball of that right foot and reach that right arm up over the ear. You stay here or begin to reach that right knee up towards the ceiling. Maybe right arm up towards the ceiling. So you're really strong down through the left hand. Lift up through that left palm, up through that left arm. And then right hand, right foot, come back down. You bring yourself back into your downward dog, crouch it down. You send that right leg up for a three-legged dog. Bend that right knee. Begin to bring yourself forward, knee to chest, core plank. We'll step that right foot through towards the right thumb. Drop that left knee down to the mat, untuck the back toes, reach your arms up. And then we'll take it into a twist. Left hand comes down to the top of the mat. Begin to peel that right arm up towards the ceiling, spin the heart up. Stay here, or maybe you bend that left knee, draw that foot in towards your bum. And then release the foot. Right arm comes back up. Press down into that right foot. Reach the arms back up, low lunge. And then hands to the mat, tuck the back toes. Step back into downward dog. Same thing on the other side. Crouch yourself down. Now send the left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, bring it forward, core plank. Step that left foot through. Drop the right knee to the mat. Untuck the back toes. Press into the earth, lift up, arms reach up. Right hand comes up to the top of the mat and begin to peel that left arm up. Stay here, or you bend that right knee. Draw that foot in towards your bum, reach back, grab a hold of the foot. Spin the heart up, and then release that foot. Left arm reaches back up, and then you come back up through your low lunge. And then hands to the mat, tuck the back toes, step yourself back into your downward dog. Bend your knees, crouch it down. Now lift up through the belly, begin to roll yourself forward, coming into a plank pose. Step that left foot about halfway up the mat, turn the toes out to the side. Roll onto the pinky toe side of that right foot. Root into the right finger pads and reach that left arm up and over the ear. And then the left hand comes down towards that side body as you lower your right hip down to the mat. And then press down into the right fingers, down into the pinky toe edge of that right foot. Lift the hips back up. Left arm reaches up and over the ear. Again, lower that right hip down to the mat. Left arm comes back down to the side. Press down into the hand, into that right foot. Reach that left arm up and over. One more time as you slowly lower yourself down to that right hip. Press down into the earth, lift up. Left arm comes back up over the ear. Left hand comes back down to the mat. Turn the left toes to face up towards the top of your mat. Root into your fingers. Step back into your downward dog. Bend your knees, crouch it down, roll it forward. Find your plank. Now we'll step that right foot halfway up the mat. Turn the toes out to the side. Root into that left hand and roll over onto the pinky toe side of that left foot. Right arm now reaches up over the ear. And then you slowly bring the right arm down, lower that left hip down to the mat. Press down into pinky toe side of that left foot. Left hand Lift the hips up, reach the right arm up over the ear again, and then you bring it back down, nice and easy. Press into the earth, lift up, right arm up over the ear, and then left hip comes back down to the mat. Press down into the earth, back up you come, and then right hand to the mat, turn the right toes up towards the top of your mat. Step yourself back into your downward dog. Step, hop, float yourself up to the top of your mat. Bring it halfway up to a flat back. Soften your knees, fold yourself in. Ragdoll forward fold, press down into your feet. Rise all the way up, palms together overhead. Hands down to your heart. Now we'll step the right foot in front of the left and over towards the left side of the mat. Left hand to the left hip, right arm up over the ear. Finding that opening through the right side. A few breaths. And then right arm comes back down, right foot comes back to where it started from, coming through your mountain pose. And then we'll step the left foot in front and over towards the right side of the mat. Right hand to the right hip, left arm up and over the ear. So you find the side body opening now through the left side. Bring yourself back to center. Reach the arms up. Soften the knees, hinge from the hips, fold yourself in, forward fold, halfway up, flat back. Plant the hands down to the mat. We'll step it back to plank. Drop your knees, lower yourself down, pelvis down, pubic bone down, belly, torso all the way down. Lift yourself up for a baby cobra. And then release it back down, tuck the toes, press into the fingers, lift the hips up and back to your downward dog. Crouch it down, lift up through the belly, roll it forward, find your plank. Now bring that right hand towards the center of the mat a little bit, maybe up an inch or two, and then roll over onto the right side of that right foot. You can stack the feet. You could step the left foot out in front or maybe step it halfway up the mat, similar to what we did just a minute ago. Press down through that right hand, right finger pads, claw the mat, lift up through that right side, lift up through the hips. Left hand can stay on the hip or you reach that arm up over the ear. Keep it here in your side plank or step that left foot back behind you, left hand to the back of the head, begin to lift up through the heart. Wild thing. And then we'll take it back into our plank. Left hand comes back down. You roll back into your plank. Right hand moves back towards the right side of the mat. And let's take it over to the other side now. So left hand moves up a little bit towards the center of the mat a little bit. You roll over onto pinky toe side of that left foot. Stack the feet, or right foot steps in front, or right foot steps halfway up your mat with that knee bent. You take your variation, root down into the left hand, lift up through that side body, right arm up over the ear. Keep it here where you step that right foot back behind you and over towards that left side of the mat. Right hand comes back behind the head. Lift your heart up. And then bring it back through your side plank. Back into your plank. And then up into your downward dog. Pedal out your legs. Lower your knees down to the mat. Come back down onto your belly. And then again, let's roll it onto the right side. Stack the knees. Right hand to the mat. And again, we find this opening through the right side of the rib cage. Let that rib cage melt down. And then back through center, onto your belly and over to your other side. Knees come out in front of you. Come up onto that left hand. Shrug that shoulder up towards the ear. And allow the ribcage to drop down towards the mat. Bring yourself back onto your belly and then back into child's pose, back to where we started. Release your forehead back to the mat. You could turn the palms to face up. Give the wrists a little bit of a release here, or bring the arms alongside the feet and the shins for relaxed child's. And then bring yourself back up to sit on your heels or into any comfortable seat. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Connect in. Check in with your breath. Come back to our intention to be gentle, patient, loving, kind, compassionate with ourselves. And then palms together at your heart. We hope this short flow helps to get you going, get your energy, your prana, your breath, your blood pumping, everything flowing. May you feel safe, may you be healthy, may you be happy, may you live with ease, may your heart be open to love, compassion, and may you know joy. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. With love and gratitude, namaste.